Oh man, so the crypto market is in a bit of a turbulent situation right now. Let's take a look at how we're doing and let's see what's going on in way of an update. So what I've done here is I've just sorted by the worst performers over the last 24 hours. We can see Solana is down 9.5%, which is quite a lot. It's really cooled down from its highs of 200. Filecoin 10%, Algorand down almost 7%, Luna down 7%, Uniswap down 6%, Polkadot down 6%, Chainlink 5%, Ethereum 5.5%, and obviously Bitcoin down 4% as well. Let's show you Bitcoin down there 4%. Well, 3.5%. So what's going on here? Because these are all really solid projects, and you would not expect all of these to be the biggest ones down, right? You can see a bunch of other altcoins gaining really highly, 200%, 100%. We don't worry about those. You're always going to get some random rug pulls and pumps and dumps. Never look at these ones here. It can always be let the weirdos do that and risk their money. We'll focus on the real gems which we've done our research on. So these ones, let's take a look at what's going on. Let's look at the charts and let's start with Bitcoin. So this is my daily messy chart on Bitcoin. You have to excuse all my drawings, but that's how my mind thinks. Now let's look at that. So you can see on the daily we've just had a little bounce off this candle, off this the teal color EMA ribbon there. Okay, so that's your EMA ribbon. Let's take a look on the 4-hourly chart and you'll see it a bit clearer. Right there on that level, the yellow line I've got drawn there at 43,000. You can see that one, at 41,000 there, 615. You can see we've kind of dipped below it and we're back up. And if we go down to the hourly chart, you'll see exactly what happened. So we broke bearish, we've come all the way down, we bounced once off the line, gone back up, got rejected at the 43,000 level, bounced down, bouncing back up, and now we're kind of in this channel. And we're not sure which direction we're going to head in next. So if we look at this from a 4-hourly chart again, now it's an interesting point because what you'll see here is if we head down, if we break this 41,615 level, not to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't get any significant resistance until the 38,000 level. Okay, so we could have a little bit of a ride down. If, however, we break above, we've got to get through the 43,000, which we got rejected from before, and then we can head higher to the 46,000. Okay, so this is a critical area for us. Are we going to break underneath 41 or are we going to head up above 43? Now we know, and you saw from my videos yesterday, this is not fundamentally related to Bitcoin at all. I've just shown you all of the top projects with amazing fundamentals, from Filecoin to Solana to Uniswap. Like, are people suddenly not using Uniswap? I mean, this is all based on macroeconomic turbulence. There's the FOMC meeting today. We're expecting a whole bunch of information around GDP forecasts and inflation rates and whether the Fed is going to begin their tapering purchases. If you've not seen that video, click here. If it's out, I'll put it up here somewhere. And go watch that video because it'll give you a good idea of what the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is going to say today. Now, how does that affect the fundamentals of a coin of something like Uniswap or Solana or Algorand? These are great projects and they're not going anywhere. So this is a great opportunity for you to be getting amazing discounts overnight, 10% off, and over the week is about 30% down on some of your favorites. You should be thinking about, do I want to pick these up? Are they my high conviction plays? Because this is a great opportunity for you to buy off their lows before we get the last Q4 run up. So that's Bitcoin. Similar effect for Ethereum, which is now sitting at 2,900, well off its highs of 4,185, which we saw previously. Let's look at the daily on Ethereum. You can see Ethereum went on its absolute tear, ran all the, let me look at this. So it went on its first tear, went all the way up, touched 4,300, came down, created this W pattern, headed straight back up, got up to 4,000 again, and we've just come back down. And for Ethereum, it's trying to bounce off this heavy support line at 2,900 region. It's got to hold this level. And again, if it doesn't hold this level, you could be seeing a 2,400, or it could bounce here at 2,500 off the EMA ribbon. That's the kind of Ethereum you're looking at now if we don't rebound off of here. So this is going to depend on a lot of macroeconomic issues with Evergrande, with the FOMC meeting, with a few other things going on. But fundamentally, we'll need to see Bitcoin and Ethereum bounce at these levels that they're coming up to very shortly in order for the rest of the market to go ahead. Same with Cardano, exact same story, bouncing off this level here. You can see the daily candle there ticking back up after it's dumped down here, and it's got to head higher. If it loses 1.87, it's going down to 1.67 and testing its EMA as well. So definitely you're getting, look at this, you're getting, I mean, if you look at a discount from its highs, you're getting Cardano now at, if you bought it at the line there, let's just assume you're going to get a 30-40% discount Cardano right now. Okay, so if this is a high conviction play for you, which you're not touching for 6, 7, 8 years, I mean, are you arguing over kind of 30 cents here and there now? You know, this is where you want to be buying in when you flip bearish. Dogecoin sitting at 20 cents. Yep, same pattern there for Dogecoin. Let's go on to, let's look at Algorand. So Algorand, which we speak a lot about on this channel, you can see here we've got a green candle on the ribbon, which is great. You've had your bounce on the fourth sector of the EMA ribbon there, which is good. Let's look at the 4-hourly. Still bearish on the 4-hourly chart, although we tried to touch, we just bounced back off. We've got some, you know, that can happen with your EMA ribbon. It can act like resistance. So you can see that's happened there. It's gone back up towards the EMA. It's just bounced off of its EMA. To break an EMA ribbon, you've really got to have a catalyst or a big movement up. And now you can see we're almost getting a bit of a wedge forming. You know how you have your ascending triangles? This is a wedge created between this EMA here and this EMA ribbon here. So this is a really long-term EMA, and you've got your ribbon of shorter-term EMAs. And you can see this is now wedging in between those. So we could get an explosive move upwards in Algorand once this kind of narrows down here. So if you kind of project this blue line out a bit more, you bring this EMA down, you could be seeing some sort of a kind of consolidation in there and then some sort of movement. Okay, so that's what we want to watch out for on Algorand. But again, with these altcoins, it's going to depend on macroeconomics, right? So that's why you'll never hear me say trade on technicals alone. I never do. I follow the technicals and I marry them up for convergence with macroeconomic and fundamentals, right? Because you can have the perfect ascending triangle and then Jerome Powell announces something about interest rates and everything moves, right? Messes up your whole pattern. So you've got to be a bit pragmatic with this. You've got to marry up your technicals with your fundamentals and what you know is going on in the market. And then that's how you get the perfect storm of investing and trading in some of these assets. So that's how Algorand's looking. And for me, Algorand's really got to stay above this 1.63 mark. If we lose this 1.63 mark, and even worse, if we lose the exponential moving average here, this blue line, that will be a problem for me, because our next level of real support, I mean, you can argue there's a level of support here at 150, but for me, the next one, which goes back in time to give you a longer term resistance, doesn't come until your 130 mark, really. So some people can argue you got that 150 there. For me, if we lose this one here, which is the 16313, it looks like we're going to go down to 130 as our next solid resistance, right? I'd be worried in this limbo in this space here. Okay, so that's where I'm at with Algorand. Let's take a look at Solana. Similar story here on the 4-hourly chart with Solana. Well off of our highs again. You can see it felt like only yesterday that this kept running and running and running, and now it's flipped bearish. It tried to flip bullish on the EMA ribbon again here, and it's got taken straight back down. And again, we could be getting this kind of movement in the ribbon here, which we can look out for. Could be creating a little bit of a wedge. But again, I'm a bit worried here because Solana actually went below its exponential moving average here on the blue line. So I want to see what happens with Solana. I mean, this is what I said with Ethereum when Ethereum ran to 4,300. Any coin which goes on a tear up, any coin which does this, you've got to remember that is not solidified, right? That can come down just as quickly as that went up. That's why I like a coin such as a Cardano, which takes its time. It goes up in chunks, you know, puts up some scaffolding and it's secure, and then it goes up on its next journey, right? Anybody that's flown up like this, it comes down just as quick, right? And that's the concern here with Solana. But hopefully you get some people buying the dip here, because this is a great deal here at 130 Solana. That is a bargain, because I know a lot of people were buying at 180s, 190s, 200 when they suddenly clocked on that level 1 is here to stay. Now, if you don't believe level 1 are here to stay and you think Ethereum's a clear winner and there's no other level 1 player, then you know, you don't need to be in Solana, you don't need to be in Algorand, you don't need to be in Luna, you don't need to be in Harmony One, you don't need to be any of these, right? You think it's just Ethereum, in which case buy some more Ethereum at 2,900. And as we speak, It's just broke 2,900 and we're at 2,800. Okay, so this is not looking good for Ethereum with another red candle. Let's look at the hourly on Ethereum. Yeah, it's getting rejected here by its ribbon again. Exactly what happened here a couple of hours ago. It gets rejected and it's come back down and it's gone back up to test it and it's getting rejected. So is this going to push below this green line? Not a great sign for Ethereum. And you can see as we're talking here, Bitcoin has lost its 42. It's sitting at 41,000. Exact same thing. Went to test this ribbon, come down, gone to test this ribbon. The ribbon said, hell no. It's sending it back down. And if it loses 41615 there, this yellow line here, 41615, just like it did here, but this time, the second time it loses it, the weaker it gets, right? The more times you test a support, the weaker it gets. The more you hammer on that floor, it's more likely to break. And that's what's going to happen here. So we need to see some strength from Bitcoin in order to head on higher. Anything else to look at? It'd be good to look at where we are on the volatility index, as this always gives us a good example. We can see volatility. Let's go to the daily. We can see that's too much. Let's go back to 4 hourly. We can see volatility's cooled off from its peak with the Evergrande crisis. It's come down, but it's still high levels at 22, right? We want it to be back at a sensible level here, but we're not there yet. So still got peak volatility, and that obviously is confounded by the fact that crypto is more volatile in average than any other asset class. So it's going to be a volatile market, so we shouldn't be expecting anything else. Any other coins to look at? We've got Luna, same pattern, but this is well below its exponential moving average. Not looking too great for Luna, getting the same pattern, 2671, well off of its highs of 44. I mean, you're getting some crazy bargains on some of these. I mean, you look at that. The last time that you're getting September pricing, September 8th, it was the last time it was at this price, and then before that, you're having to go back to August, and then yeah, August. So good pricing on a lot of these altcoins. It's a great time for you to really be diving into your high conviction plays. For me, this is a bit of a dip in the market. I don't think, there's nothing fundamental which is driving this, and that's the beauty of these dips, right? The dips you want to buy are the ones where there's no fundamental issues. The ones you don't want to buy is when your favorite coin comes out with a lawsuit or they've been hacked or something's happened, right? Then I won't be shouting buy the dip. But when you've had a macroeconomic issue such as Evergrande crisis, which is a property development company in China, which the majority of people are thinking that they'll resolve this issue, and even if it did go bust, it wouldn't have a massive impact on the US economy, then there's no fundamental challenges to Solana, to Algo, to ADA, to Ethereum, to Bitcoin. So now's a great time for you to be kind of jumping into some of your favorite plays. Again, this is not financial advice, but if you make a list of your favorite cryptos with your highest conviction, mark some price points about, where do you want to buy in. I've made a video about what to do in an uncertain market. Check that somewhere here. I'll put it up somewhere. And follow that plan in order to start nibbling on your favorites. Otherwise, this opportunity will pass you by. These things will go on a tear again. And then when it's all green, you're chasing around trying to buy because you didn't buy enough when it was red. Okay, we saw that when Bitcoin was at 29,000. How many of you wish you bought some more there? How many of you wish you put a couple of more grand, 10 grand, 15 grand more into your favorite plays back then? Right? Who knows if we're ever going to see another $29,000 Bitcoin, right? Who knows if we're ever going to see Algorand back to the levels it's at now? Who's at 1.66? Who's going to see Cardano at $2? We've already seen it run to 3. Is this the last call at $2? I remember when it was at $1, saying I need to get as much of this as I can because we may never see $1 again. And same with $2, right? Will we ever see it again? So now's a good time to make a list of your high conviction plays and start coming up with a plan, because you need a plan. We can't be emotional and sporadic. Have a plan of, what does my portfolio in an ideal world look like? How much do I have in my favorite plays? And then start building those out. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you like this type of crypto update, hit a like button and subscribe so I know this is the type of content you want, and I will see you in the next one.